Hello, this is Kate from Daily Tarot Girl, and welcome to your weekly tarot card reading. For this week's reading, I am using the Cosmic Wisdom Tarot by Ethony, and I'm joined by my kitty Henry. He's sound asleep right next to me. Okay. So I'm going to start by just shuffling my deck here. And my intention with this reading, as always, is just to get some insight, some ideas, some inspiration for the week ahead so that we can see kind of what sort of energies are coming up and how to make the most of those energies. All right, so if you're new here, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and always feel free to leave me a comment and let me know your own thoughts and your own take on these cards. All right, so let's zoom in a little here. So for the first card, this is for the beginning of the week, so Monday and Tuesday of the upcoming week. And I'm actually just gonna slide a little card behind here so that my cards appear straight. Okay, forgive my my clumsiness. All right. Okay, so we have the Knight of Pentacles for the beginning of the week. Now, the Knight of Pentacles is all about moving slowly yet methodically and being very cautious and thinking things through. So the Knight of Pentacles doesn't rush into things. There's no impulsivity with the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles does not like to take risks or to do anything really without thinking it through. So beginning of the week, it's a time to move slowly. You want to kind of give yourself time to get your bearings, to ground your energy. Knight of Pentacles is always encouraging us to ground ourselves. So really grounding your energy, taking your time, not rushing into anything, and giving yourself that time and space to think things through before making decisions, before making changes, before taking action, thinking things through. And it's okay to give yourself a little time to just sort of pause and think about things and reflect. You'll notice that the Knight of Pentacles is, if you look at all of your knights in your tarot deck, you'll notice that the Knight of Pentacles is probably the only one who isn't going anywhere. All the other knights are charging forward or galloping forward. And I know Knight of Swords and Knight of Wands are charging forward. I think Knight of Cups is kind of, moving forward, but at a slower pace. And then Knight of Pentacles is just standing still. So it's okay. You may even notice that it's hard to really get things moving at the beginning of the week. It might be kind of a slow start where you feel like things are a little bit stagnant. Something to look out for. So the dark side of the Knight of Pentacles is that the Knight of Pentacles has a tendency to procrastinate, because thinking about something before taking action is good, but we can sometimes get stuck there where we are in this sort of never-ending thought loop of constantly contemplating something without taking action, and that's the downside of the Knight of Pentacles. So Knight of Pentacles is warning you to kind of watch out for any of those tendencies of procrastination or thinking and pondering something over and over and over and over and not going anywhere. That's not good, but you do want to give yourself a little time and space at the beginning of the week to think things through. You don't have to rush forward at the start of the week. And now we have 10 of Swords for the middle of the week. So Wednesday, Thursday-ish, we've got 10 of Swords. And ultimately, I see, when I look at this card, there's a lot going on, and I'm going to talk about all of it. But the first thing I noticed was actually the butterfly up here. And then I see there's another little part of a butterfly down there. Butterflies are a symbol of transformation. And the 10 of Swords being a number 10, the 10 is the last card in the suit. So it represents an ending of sorts. So you could even see 10 of Swords as being like a mini death card. It's kind of similar to the death card, but not as intense. It's to a lesser extent. So we have this symbol of something being finished. I mean, look at the guy on this card. He's face down. He's done. He's finished. But then we have the sun about to come up in the background. The sun is about to rise, and we do have the butterflies. So it's this idea that every ending, there's going to be a new beginning eventually. Now, the Ten of Swords is what I would call one of the more challenging cards, because it does have to do with feeling, it could be about feeling stuck. I mean, the guy in the Ten of Swords is literally stuck. And you'll notice that with the Knight of Pentacles isn't going anywhere. Ten of Swords isn't going anywhere. So already I can see that this week might be a week where there's not a lot of momentum for many of us. You might actually be feeling kind of stuck or stagnant, or even just like you just don't feel like doing anything. You're not super motivated. You don't have a lot of get up and go. You maybe just want to kind of, hang out at home and not really do much. That might be how you feel these cards this week. And I can tell you right now, I'm already kind of feeling this. I'm already kind of feeling this way. So these cards are at least resonating with me anyhow. So midweek, Ten of Swords. You may feel like giving up on something. You might feel really stuck, but just know that, and this is kind of a cliche, but know that, what's that phrase? It's like the darkest hour is right before dawn. And it's this idea that, sometimes things get really, really bad, or you feel really, really, really stuck, like there's nowhere for you to go. And then something shifts, something lifts, and there is a little glimmer of hope and transformation on the horizon. Okay, end of the week. End of the week is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and here we have Six of Swords. So I'm really happy to see this card here, and let's just get another card and stick it in behind there. I'm really happy to see this card because there's some forward movement. So there's some movement happening with the Six of Swords. So we have Knight of Pentacles, not a lot of movement, a bit of stagnancy there. Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords goes beyond feeling stagnant to actually really feeling stuck. And then Six of Swords, ta-da, we have movement. There's some movement happening here with this card. And the Six of Swords is a card of not just movement, but transition. So I think of it as the point A to point B card. You're making some sort of a transition. Now I get a few ideas with this card here. The first idea that I get is that you might really be craving a change this week. And that will culminate towards the end of the week. So you may feel like through most of the week, you're kind of maybe a little incapacitated or just not that motivated. But towards the end of the week, you get this kind of rush of energy and you're ready to take action. You're ready to make some changes. And what I'm getting from the Six of Swords is that a change is as good as a rest. Like making some kind of a change, whether it's a big change or a little change, something that changes your environment in some way, or something that shifts your daily routine or habit, even if it's just something small, will have the power to change the pattern. So I've noticed that sometimes, like, I always get into a bit of a habit or a pattern with my days. And if I change just one little thing, like drinking my cup of coffee at a different time, or doing a workout in the morning instead of in the afternoon, or, getting out for a walk first thing in the morning or something like that, just a little change in my daily habit, it disrupts the whole pattern and it changes a bunch of things. And usually, if it's a positive change, it usually changes everything else in a positive way, but not always. And so there is this real power from making a little change in your habit or routine or environment that can lead to an overall sense of, it can lead to bigger changes. And so what I get with the Six of Swords is like, you're craving some kind of a change. And with these two cards, it's almost like you're telling yourself you have to make big changes. But with the Six of Swords, what I'm getting is actually just a tiny little change is all you need to shift things. And it's not going to immediately shift things, but you will notice a difference. So Six of Swords, it's the card of transition. It's the card of like making changes to your routine, to your environment. And I see it as a very positive card. Okay, so let's look at all of the cards together. And I'm just looking. Oh, it's so interesting. I'm just noticing Knight of Pentacles is looking right at us, but 10 of Swords, this guy's face down. And then Six of Swords, the characters are facing away from us. So that's kind of interesting to me. Like the characters aren't confronting us in these cards. They're kind of going off. They're going off into the distance, whereas Knight of Pentacles is looking right at us. So because of that, I almost want to focus on the Knight of Pentacles more because it feels like the Knight of Pentacles wants to talk to me. And this is an interesting question to ask when you're doing a reading and you've got all the cards laid out and they're all turned over. Take a look at your cards and ask yourself, what card wants to talk to me? Which card is actually really trying to get my attention here? Now, when I ask that question with these three cards, it's the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is looking at me, trying to get my attention. Okay, so what does the Knight of Pentacles want to tell us about our upcoming week? Okay. So when I have a little dialogue in my head with the Knight of Pentacles, she says, notice the curving tree behind me. So notice this tree. This tree isn't growing straight up. It's curving. And what I get from that is that sometimes the path forward isn't a straight path. Sometimes it's not clear what the next step is going to be. It may be kind of foggy or fuzzy. And 10 of Swords, it's like he's trying to run down a straight path, and that's not going to get him to where he wants to go. The path may be winding, it might be curvy, and it may require your intuition and getting in touch with like your heart, your feelings, your emotions, your energy to discern what the next step is going to be. Our minds are powerful, and when we get up in our head, we can make some good decisions, but sometimes we have to incorporate our other capacities, our capacity to sense energy, to feel, to communicate with our intuition, our higher selves. We have to incorporate all of that when it comes to moving forward on our path and figuring out, okay, what's the next step going to be? So that's the overall message I get with this card here, the Knight of Pentacles, is that sometimes the path, I was going to say the path forward, but also the path upward, because the tree is growing up towards the sky, but it's not going straight. It took a little detour somewhere along the way. Okay, so that has been your weekly tarot card reading. So thank you so much for watching. I hope some of this resonated. I hope you found this helpful. Feel free to leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about these cards. And of course, check out my website, dailytarotgirl.com, for tons of fun tarot learning resources. And I am going to do I am going to go live on my channel pretty soon to do a monthly forecast. I'm just not 100% sure what day I'm going to do it. So stay tuned for that. Okay. Thanks so much for watching. Have a beautiful week.